So what I wanted to ask you is, you have dealt with a number of other aligner companies prior to your experience with Clearly. Maybe you could just kind of share some of those experiences and really what you found and maybe what the differences are between Clearly and some of those other companies.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think that my experiences with other aligner companies led me, to work to Clearly. The issue that I found as a busy practitioner was having to figure out what was realistic and what wasn't realistic. And at the time, you don't realize that, like, the main aligner company out there, we won't use any names again, but the main aligner company that's out there, you're getting something back from them, and it's either generated with AI or it's generated by someone who has no aligner experience in the tradition. Like, they never had to finish a case, right? Like, so aligner experience, in just terms of manipulating a movie or a cartoon, is very different than manipulating that movie or cartoon, knowing what you did, and then seeing it play out over a year or a year and a half or 6 months, whatever the time may be, in the clinic, and then having to learn from your mistakes and learn from your successes, and then apply that to the next set of aligners, and so forth. And as you do thousands and thousands of cases, you realize how ridiculously ridiculous, not the right word, but how unrealistic the movements are. I mean, the obvious ones are, I always use the example of trying to move a 5 millimeter or a 7 millimeter tooth through a 5 millimeter space. That's a super obvious one, but there's a lot of other unrealistic tooth movements that you're presented with when you have a technician with no real experience finishing cases and treating aligners, can do it. So, like, it's wild how hard it is to actually know what's truly unpredictable or not until you get in there and do it. And that's why I think that so many people like this, what this Clearly company is, it's kind of a game changer thing, because really, I don't know how you go back to that original model where you're trying to figure out what a technician did or what AI did, unravel what's going to work and what's not going to work. Spending hours of, back and forth, versus just having it done for you in a realistic way. I don't know if I answered your question there, but determining unrealistic tooth movement really just comes from figuring it out after you fail or succeed in the clinic, and it's a year-long process. I mean, you're not going to know if the tooth movement you did is unrealistic until it doesn't work in the clinic.